Well, Pantala I founded early last year in 2019 to be a hub for individuals like me who want to have a portfolio career to come together and participate in projects for their clients. We do business transformation, communication, business development, and overall support for small to large organizations that need extra executives to come in and develop a strategy for them or implement a strategy, which I think is more important now than ever. It's very interesting what has happened early this year. We have had some retainers that have had to stop because our clients' businesses are closed.
Yes.
And we have had some interest from other organizations that need to very quickly and very dynamically address issues with customers and clients and shift, as you said, the way that they do business. So we had clients, for example, in the disability sector that have large infrastructures and they are closed down. We have clients in government and in the for-profit space, and it's a real mixed bag of what's happening to the economy and to these specific organizations.
Now, you've come into this space as a seasoned CEO. You have a tremendous international and global reach, especially when it comes to networking. This COVID-19 pandemic, which has challenged everyone and seen much of our economy suspended, it's required people to think outside the square. We've needed companies and business leaders to become more agile than they ever imagined they were capable of. With Pantala, this transformation component must be built right into your DNA.
It is. Well, Pantala signifies, it is a type of dragonfly, and it signifies transformation, and as you mentioned with me before we started, agility. Late last year, I started a new project, which is the Pantala Academy, supporting individuals that are going through career transformation.
So you're talking coaching now, huh?
Coaching, career coaching, and personal transformation for people that have lost their jobs. Never have I imagined what was going to happen early March, but with the project came the launch of the Job Hunting podcast, and it gave me the opportunity to start interviewing experts from all over the world. The podcast is listened all over the world.
So specialty experts, they've been in your grasp.
Yes. So
have you enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed it very much. It came to a shock to me. Imagine somebody who has developed a whole plan and a whole bunch of episodes based on what was then normal, having to very quickly pivot the whole project to address something quite drastic and invite new experts to come and talk.
No one has seen this coming. So what was the thing that you got sorted in your mind first about the pandemic that allowed you then to be the career coach?
So I've been collating and collecting and curating information to enable this project for decades. And little did I know that I was going to start it just months before the COVID pandemic. Wow. So what I had to quickly pivot in my mind is I didn't have the answers to everything. And I had to rely on experts to come into the podcast and talk to my listeners and my followers and clients and give us the whole breadth of what was going on. So we had somebody to talk about complexity and ambiguity. We had somebody who is an expert in disaster avoidance to talk to us how to prepare for the future ahead of us, and another one who is an expert on jobs of the future to explain how to enable changes in your career.
So this career coaching, how are you managing to do this? There are a lot of companies out there that are not going to want to support this sort of growth. So it falls back on the individual. How are they meeting their cost?
The same way that the Informer has been launched in a platform that is public, that's how I've developed my program as well.
Well done.
My biggest pet peeve in civil society is the way that some things are structured that advantage some and disadvantage others. And when you're going through job recruitment and interview processes, the individual candidate is always lonely, and the employer has a whole bunch of people supporting them. They have the recruiter, the broker, the hiring manager, the HR partner, and the selection panel, everybody supporting that employer to hire the best possible person, and the candidates are all working alone. So the platform with the job hunting podcast and my website and my blog, I do live coaching on Facebook and Instagram every week. All of that enables a lot of information to reach out to people that have never thought about career coaching before.
Self-growth, yes.
And then from that point onwards, there's a scale of investment that you can make if you want to pay as little as a few $100s to all the way up to thousands, which is some of my clients do.
Renarta, you touched on something. You said you have this peeve. You hate inequity. There are a group of people called the Australian board members that represent so many different companies around the nation, and many of them appear not on one board, not on two boards, but 8, 9, 10 boards. Why is it that some are so well received or so well thought of? They keep going back to the well and use them instead of branching out and grabbing someone new, someone who has something else to offer.
Yes. So Watermark Search International yesterday launched its new board report. They do it every year. They have a whole series of interesting reports on their website. There were some media attention called upon it, and they called our board directors male and pale. And that tells you everything you need to know. So Australia is a long way away from diversity on their boards. If you look at the Australian Institute of Company Directors, and mind you, I am a member of the institute because I have been a CEO, not because I have done the course. But for those who have done the course, there is this expectation that the course itself will grant you entrance into a directorship. That's not the case.
Not the case.
No. Those directorships, the ones that pay well, the ones that are financially viable, those are very difficult to acquire. And also the boards in Australia especially have to have this tendency to be split between lawyers and accountants. Very little scientists make into the board, very little people with the AICD course get into high paid boards. And I think that there is a lot for us to reconsider, especially also considering the royal commissions that we've had for the past 2-3 years, about how we want to proceed with our governance structures in Australia in the future.
Now, following that Royal Commission, are we seeing changes enacted? Are we seeing those recommendations handed down by the Royal Commissioner being put into effect, or are they slowly being pushed by the side?
What I can see now is that the COVID-19 stimulus package pandemic has kind of put everything else on hold, and it's very hard for us to understand how those recommendations have been progressing. But Australia has had, unfortunately, a tradition of doing great reports that lead to nothing. I've been an advocate for innovation and R&D because of my consultancy and my professional background.
And your international experience.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, so many great opportunities have been missed in the past in advanced manufacturing and embracing different opportunities in Australia to grow its economy above and beyond mining and tourism. And we have missed those opportunities. So now we need to work, and advanced manufacturing has been a term that has been used over and over again for the past couple of weeks.
Correct,
I'm sure you're
correct.
aware.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so...
Look, people are starting to review what's been said,
right.
And we're hearing more and more that they're starting to realise that everything can't be offshore. We've got to bring some business and some manufacturing back to Australia. Renarta Bernarde, please come and join us on The Informer on a regular basis. We have so much to talk about, and we want to hear more about some of those things that peeve you most.
Oh, there are lots of things for us to talk about then. Congratulations.
Thank you.